Psalm 121. God the help you can always count on. Good morning, beloved. Have you ever opened your eyes in the morning and felt the weight of the day before it even begins? Has your heart ever whispered, "I don't know if I can handle this," before your feet even hit the floor? What if the heaviness you feel isn't a sign of failure but a signal to lift your eyes? Some mornings don't begin with clarity. They begin with pressure. The to-do list races ahead of your thoughts. The responsibilities feel heavier than your strength. And somewhere between waking and moving, the question rises, where will my help come from today? Psalm 121 begins at that very place with that exact question. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? This isn't a poetic introduction, it's a cry of the soul. A moment of searching. A heart looking up, wondering if there's something steady to hold on to. Someone trustworthy enough to lean on. And the answer doesn't hesitate. It comes swift and strong. My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Before you step into another task, another conversation, another unknown, pause. Do what the psalmist did, lift your eyes. Let your gaze rise above the chaos. Let your heart shift from panic to peace, from self-reliance to sacred dependence. Because help is not something you have to search endlessly to find. Help is already here. Not from people. Not from position. Not even from your own abilities. But from the one who made the very ground you walk on. The one who shaped the stars and still reaches for your hand. The Creator who is not distant or abstract, but present, protective, and near. This morning is not meant to be carried in your own strength. It's meant to be surrendered into hands that never fail. The hands that hold the mountains also hold your moments. The God who commands the skies also whispers peace into your breath. So lift your eyes not just physically, but spiritually. Lift your focus off the calendar, the headlines, the noise, the deadlines. Look higher, beyond what you can control, beyond what feels urgent. Look to the one who is constant. Let today begin with perspective, not panic. Let it begin with worship before worry, with trust before strategy. Let the first movement of your soul not be towards stress, but towards stillness. The help you need is not behind a locked door. It's not found at the end of your effort. It begins the moment you remember who walks beside you. The Lord your helper, your keeper, your defender is not waiting for you to earn his attention. He's already moving on your behalf. You are not walking into this day alone. You are not navigating these questions without wisdom. The one who watches over your every step is already ahead of you. So as we reflect on Psalm 121, let every verse anchor your heart. Let every word remind you of what's true even when emotions shift. Let every promise become personal. Because this psalm wasn't written for someone else, it was written for you. For the early morning questions, for the silent prayers, for the unknowns that can't be answered yet. We'll walk through Psalm 121 together, verse by verse, promise by promise. And then we'll pray. Not with empty words, but with confidence. With honesty. With faith that's not based on what we see, but on who we know. Because your help doesn't come from a place. It comes from a person. The maker of heaven. The keeper of your soul. And he's already here. You lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? It's not just a poetic phrase, it's a cry from deep within. It's the prayer of someone who has reached the end of their own strength, of someone who realizes that looking inward no longer works, and so they look up. Maybe that's where you are right now. Not sure what's next. Tired from carrying more than you were meant to hold. Trying to be strong for others when no one sees how heavy it really feels. But today, right now, you're invited to lift your eyes. Not just physically, but spiritually. Lift your attention. Lift your expectations. Lift your focus above the chaos. Not to escape reality, but to see clearly what's more real than what's around you. Your help is not hiding. It's not uncertain. It's not late. Your help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. The one who created the mountains you're looking at. The one who carved valleys, set stars in motion, and still chooses to walk beside you. Lord, this morning I choose to lift my eyes. Not just for a moment, but for a reset. I lift my eyes from my schedule. From the conversations I'm nervous about. From the unknowns I can't seem to control. I choose to look higher. Let my help not come from hustle. Let it not come from people's approval or my own strategies. Let it come from you. Because you are faithful. You are near. And you are enough. When discouragement whispers, lift my vision. When stress tightens its grip, remind me to pause and look up. When I'm tempted to rely on myself again, gently pull me back to dependence. You are not just help in emergencies, you are help in every moment. In the ordinary, in the quiet, in the small moments where fear wants to grow. And for every person lifting their eyes today with trembling faith, you see them. You hear the unspoken prayers. You meet us in our weakness. We lift our eyes, not in denial of what we face, but in confidence of who you are. We rise above despair, not because we ignore it, but because we know a greater truth. The truth is this: help has a name, and that name is Jesus. So as this day unfolds, let your gaze remain steady. Not on the winds and waves, but on the one who walks above them. Not on what's urgent, but on what's eternal. Not on what's uncertain, but on the one who never changes. Let this morning be more than a pause. Let it be a pattern, a new habit of the soul, to lift your eyes every time fear creeps in, every time pressure builds, every time you forget that help isn't something you earn, it's someone you already have. And today, you don't walk alone. You walk with the maker of heaven and earth. Your help does not come from strategy. It doesn't come from status. It doesn't come from how much you control, how much you earn, or how well you plan. Your help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. And because of that, you can rest. You can breathe. You can release the tight grip you've had on things you were never meant to carry alone. The God who created galaxies also created you. He holds the stars in place, and He holds your heart with just as much care. He formed every mountain and ocean, and He formed every fiber of your soul. You were not an afterthought. You were not a mistake. You were crafted by the same hands that hold the world together. So when you feel small in the face of what's ahead, remember who is walking beside you. When you feel insignificant in a loud, chaotic world, remember who called you by name. The one who made heaven and earth is not just powerful, He's personal. He is with you. Right now. In this very breath. Lord, I place all my trust in you today. Not in outcomes. Not in people. Not in my ability to fix everything. but in you. You are the source. You are the answer. You are the one who sees the full picture when I only see fragments. If you spoke the universe into being, then surely you can speak peace into this heart. If you design the skies, then surely you can design the path I'm to walk. I don't need to know everything because I know the one who does. Remind me that nothing is too great for you. No challenge, no burden, no situation that I wake up dreading today. There is no obstacle too high, no heartbreak too deep. You are the maker and you are the mender. And at the same time, remind me that nothing is too small for you either. Not the details I'm overthinking, not the conversation I'm nervous about, not the silent questions I'm too afraid to speak out loud. If it matters to me, it matters to you. You are not just the creator of the cosmos. You are the keeper of my soul. You are not just mighty, you are kind. Not just sovereign, but near. So I surrender. I lay down the urge to do this in my own strength. I place this day, every minute, every meeting, every moment into your hands. Guide my thoughts. Guard my heart. Speak truth over every lie that tries to resurface. Let peace follow me. Let grace lead me. Let trust define how I walk. You have never failed. And you won't start today. So I move forward not with fear, but with faith. Not with doubt, but with quiet confidence. Because my help doesn't depend on me. It comes from the one who created all things and still chooses to care deeply for me. Let that truth settle deeper than the noise. Let it shape how you respond. Let it change how you breathe. Because you are not held up by your effort. You are held by the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. The one who watches over you does not slumber. While the world sleeps, he stays awake. While uncertainty tries to trip you up, he holds your steps steady. And while you wonder if you can handle what's ahead, he's already walking with you. God doesn't doze off. He doesn't lose focus. He never misses a moment of your day, never overlooks a detail, never grows weary or distant. His attention is perfect. His awareness is unbroken. And his protection is constant. Every step you take matters to him. Not just the big decisions, but the small ones too. Not just the moments when you feel close to him, but also the ones when you feel far, distracted, or unsure. Even then, especially then, he watches. Lord, thank you for being the one who keeps me steady. You know the exact path I'll walk today, the places I'll go, the people I'll meet, the emotions I'll navigate, and the decisions I'll have to make. And you promise not to let me stumble. When temptation pulls, anchor me. When confusion clouds my thoughts, clarify my direction. When I start to drift, draw me back. Let every step be covered. Let every turn be guided. And even when I don't know which way to go, help me trust that you'll make the way clear. There is comfort in knowing you never sleep. Even when I do, you remain watchful. While I rest, you protect. While I pause, you move. While I wrestle with questions, you're already holding the answers. And because of that, I don't have to live in fear of falling. I don't have to live in dread of failure, because I am not walking on my own. I am held. I am watched. I am led. When life feels unstable, he is the solid ground beneath you. When things move too fast, he stays steady. When the road ahead feels unfamiliar, he walks it with you. Let this truth quiet your anxious thoughts today. You are not forgotten. You are not left to figure it all out. Your feet may feel unsure, but his hand is firm. And even if you do slip, his grace catches you. Even if you misstep, he redirects. Even if you wander, he welcomes you back. We are not called to walk in perfection, but in dependence, in trust, in confidence that every place we go has already been seen by him. So walk slowly if you need to. Pause when you're unsure. Ask him for direction when your thoughts swirl. Because the God who never sleeps is also the God who never lets you go. Let that be your grounding. Let it be your peace. Today you move forward not because you're certain, but because you're covered. Not because the path is perfect, but because the one who walks with you is. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. Not far off. Not distant or delayed. But right beside you. Closer than your breath. Constant like your shadow. God doesn't just protect you from a distance, he stays near. His presence surrounds you in ways you may not always notice, but never have to doubt. When you're unsure, he is sure. When you feel exposed, he covers. When everything else moves, he remains steady. Lord, thank you for being my shade and me covering, my shield. Not just in the big battles, but in the small weariness. You guard me from the weight of pressure I can't see coming. You block attacks I never even realized were aimed my way. You go before what I can't predict. And you stand behind what I'll never understand. Be the covering over my thoughts, the shadow over my emotions, the stillness in my storm. Let me not forget that I'm not facing this day uncovered. You are my right-hand defense, my invisible armor. When others don't notice what I'm walking through, you do. When others assume I'm fine, you see deeper. When I feel like I have to hold it all together, you quietly remind me, I don't. Your shade isn't just protection, it's presence. It's knowing you're right here. Not above or behind it, beside me. You walk where I walk. You see what I see. You feel what I feel. Let that reality steady my heart. Let it soften my defenses. Let it slow my reactions. I don't need to fear what I can't prepare for. I don't need to brace for what might go wrong. I only need to remain in the shade you already provide. There's beauty in knowing I don't have to see you to know you're here. Like a shadow on a sunny path, you move with me. You stay close. You don't pull away when I stumble. You don't disappear when I feel overwhelmed. We don't always recognize what you've kept us from, but we felt the peace when we should have panicked. We felt the calm that made no sense. And we know that was you. So cover every conversation today. Cover every decision. Cover every place I walk, and every moment I feel the heat of pressure pressing in. Be the shade that keeps my soul cool. The barrier between me and the things trying to steal my peace. You are not just watching from afar. You are actively, lovingly, constantly near. Let that be enough for today. Let it hold me when I'm tired. Let it quiet the lies that say I'm alone. Because I'm not. Because you're here. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. This is not just poetic reassurance, it's a promise. A declaration that there is no hour, no condition, No environment where God's protection is absent. Whether it's noon or midnight, light or dark, pressure or peace, you are covered. You are guarded. You are never outside His reach. The God who designed the sun and moon also designed a covering that never takes breaks. You don't need to fear intensity in the daytime or confusion in the night. He is with you in both. Lord, you are the keeper of my soul. You see what no one else sees. You understand the battles that happen in the bright, busy hours and the quiet ones no one knows I'm fighting after dark. And you protect me through it all. Shield me from what drains me. Guard me from what wears me down. Cover me from the attacks that I can see coming and the ones I never see at all. Let the light of the sun remind me of your strength. Let the silence of the night remind me of your peace. Let me know that nothing can reach me today unless it first passes through your love. You are not just present in places I expect. You are present in places I forget. In boardrooms and bedrooms. In traffic and stillness. In the warmth of laughter and the weariness of tears. You are the God of every moment, every hour, every condition. We often fear what we cannot predict. But this promise remains. Day and night, you are still the same. You're not only the God of mornings, you're the comfort of midnight. You're not only with us in clarity but in confusion. So today, I surrender not only the visible threats, but the invisible ones. The mental overload, the spiritual attack, the emotional burnout that creeps in slowly, the exhaustion that builds silently. Protect me, Lord, not just externally, but internally. Be the shield around my mind, the filter over my thoughts, the strength when I'm worn thin and the rest when I can't turn off my thoughts. Let me not just survive this day, let me walk in security. Let me sleep tonight not just from fatigue but in full trust. Let your peace cover every second. You are my God in daylight and in darkness. When I lead and when I rest, when I speak boldly and when I sit in silence, when I'm confident and when I'm unsure, still, you are God. We walk through days that bring different challenges, but we do not walk through them unprotected. You have promised to be our shade, our shelter, our quiet strength around the clock. So remind me, even in moments when I feel tired or unseen, you are still guarding. You are still covering. You are still holding everything together. Thank you for being faithful in every hour. Thank you for surrounding me when I'm unaware. Thank you for being my keeper, day and night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life, not just part of it. Not just the spiritual moments or Sunday mornings. He watches over every breath, every hour, every season. This is more than protection from danger. This is divine guardianship over your entire being. Your thoughts, your emotions, your relationships, your purpose. Nothing escapes His watch. Lord, thank you for keeping me. When I didn't know I needed to be kept. When I ran ahead without wisdom. When I got tired of waiting. Still, you kept me. You didn't just protect me from what I could see. You shielded me from what I never knew was coming. You turned detours into directions. You made closed doors become blessings. And you have preserved not just my path but my soul. Some days, the harm you keep me from is outside. Accidents, disappointments, people who don't have good intentions. But often, you protect me from the harm within. From self-doubt, from spirals of anxiety, from decisions made in fear instead of faith. You are not just my guard, you are my guide. You don't just block what's harmful, you build what's holy. You lead me into wholeness. And when I'm tempted to give up, you remind me that you're still writing my story. We often measure harm by what happens around us, but you see deeper. You guard the parts of us the world can't see. The silent disappointments, the private struggles, the longings we carry quietly. And you don't just glance over our lives, you watch over them. Intimately, tenderly, constantly. Let that truth shape your day. You don't need to over-prepare for every outcome. You don't need to brace for harm around every corner. You are not moving through life alone or unprotected. The Lord is watching over your life. Lord, help me remember this when fear whispers, when worry rises, when I start to believe that it all depends on me. Remind me that I am being kept, not by my own strength, but by yours. Let this promise hold me when I feel vulnerable. Let it settle over my decisions. Let it give peace to the places that still feel uncertain. You are watching over my life, not just for a moment, but for the whole journey. And if you're watching, then I don't have to obsess. I don't have to fear every possibility. I can live with boldness and rest. We are not promised a life without challenge, but we are promised a life that is covered. A life watched by the only one who knows the end from the beginning. So breathe today. Walk slowly. Trust deeply. And when the world starts to feel like too much, remember, the Lord is watching over your life. And He does not miss a thing. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. That means every arrival and every departure, every start and every finish, every step forward and every season of waiting. There is no moment too mundane for His attention, no transition too small for His care. Whether you're stepping into a new opportunity or walking through an old challenge, He is watching. He is covering. He is staying with you. This isn't just a morning promise. It's a lifelong one. The Lord doesn't check in and out. He doesn't guard you only when things get dangerous. He walks with you through it all. Through the moments you notice Him and the ones you don't. Lord, thank you for watching over every part of my journey. You were there when it began. You're here in the middle. And you'll still be there when the next chapter unfolds. You see the road I've already walked and the one I don't yet understand. You guide me through both the known and the unknown. I don't have to fear the future, because the one who writes it is the one who walks with me. Let this promise settle deep into your spirit. You are never outside God's vision, never out of His reach, never beyond His care. He watches over your going out when you feel brave, when you take risks, when you step into unfamiliar places. And He watches over your coming in when you return tired, when you retreat, when you're seeking safety again. You are covered at both ends. From sunrise to sunset, from today into eternity. Let this be your peace when the pace of life changes. Let this be your confidence when doors open or close. Let this be your strength when you feel uncertain about what's next. We serve a God who never clocks out, who never misses a beat, who has been faithful in every generation and will remain faithful in yours. So step into today with assurance. Not because you know what's ahead, but because you know who's walking with you. You can go with courage. You can return with rest. You can live in peace not because of what you control, but because of who is in control. Lord, I entrust every coming and going to you. Every decision, every movement, every beginning and ending. Watch over Mano just physically, but spiritually. Watch over the things I carry, the relationships I hold, the dreams I protect, the prayers I still don't have words for. Thank you that your care doesn't end when the prayer is over. It continues when I drive, when I work, when I speak, when I rest. You are always here. You are the God of the long road and the short pause, the loud moments and the quiet ones, the big leaps and the small steps. So today, move forward with this truth. You are covered. You are kept. You are watched. Both now and forevermore. And if this prayer has reminded your heart of God's closeness, type, "He watches over me" in the comments below. It's a simple way to speak faith and a quiet light for someone else who may need it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back tomorrow morning as we keep building a life of peace, prayer, and presence together. You are never alone. Not today. Not ever.